being Mother's Day today in the United States, like many days where the focus is on a particular message or a particular thought, it can be a bittersweet day for people. We have moms in this room who have children now. We have moms in this room who have children in the spirit world. We have people in this room whose moms have gone to the spirit world, whether it be this past year or these past years, whatever it is. There's still this pull sometimes. And no matter how we know that the spirit world is with us, how much we work with the spirit world, how much we feel the energy of the spirit world, when we have people who are not physically with us, we grieve, we miss them. We bring these kind of days of like a Mom's Day or a Father's Day or a holiday like Easter or Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever it happens to be. And we go into our memories a bit. We go into the what ifs. We go into all of these kind of thoughts and emotions within us that we do look at some of these holidays, these days differently than maybe we did in the past. And there's certainly no right or wrong in how we manage these days. We do hope that those people who are celebrating this day for moms, that you can do it in a way that's comfortable for you, that brings in the hopes and the thoughts of those people that we miss, but also remembering that we need to celebrate those people who are still here with us. And it's important, I feel, to remember that as life is continuous, life is eternal, that we're all not going to be here in this physical world, other than what our lifespan is. And so for the memories, for the thoughts, for those people to still remember us, to remember those who have gone before us is important. And as Barbara had said before, mothering is not just the people who have given birth. Mothering is a concept. It's an emotion. It's something that we put into our life, whether it be with friends or other people. I know people who are dads who do both of those roles. They do the mother role and they do the dad role. You know, there are, as Barbara said, aunts and grandparents and sisters and brothers who take on the role of mothering. We have people who mother in a different way, whether they be with friends or they are within their work community or in their spiritual community, where they step up to the plate when it's needed and bring something there that offers a supportive role. It offers love. It offers something that somebody can take and grab and hold on to for just that moment to get them to the next moment. That to me has nothing to do with gender. That to me has nothing to do with if somebody has physically given birth to somebody. That's something within us that we can give to the world, that is a mothering type, whatever we want to call it. But it gives something to somebody that they can hold on to, that we can help them grow, whether it's our pets, whether it is our next door neighbor, whether it is a nephew or a niece, whether it is a sister or a brother, a mom or a dad. Doesn't matter. It is the concept of what is mothering. And when we look at what I consider our Mother Earth, we look at what our Earth has gone through, this planet that we live on, this little like rock that in the midst of all of the universes that we have found ourselves in and on, you know, that we came from this molten place, you know, of volcanoes and lava and no kind of life at the time, to where we are now. And all of the changes, all of the things that have gone on our world, to me, mimic a lot of times things that we need to go through in our journey here, that we deal with. You know, we've all dealt with the eruptions of a volcano emotionally, maybe not physically, but emotionally. We've all dealt with the changes in landscape of who's around us and who's not around us anymore. We've all dealt with the climbing of the mountain, you know, to see what's ahead of us, or coming up to the mountain and not being able to see where our next step is. All of these things that have happened physically on our earth are, to me, representative of what our journey is on this earth. And the thing that is always takes my breath away is when you go to some weird place, wherever you happen to be, whether it's in New York City or another city, or whether it's in the midst of the woods, and you come across a space that something should never grow on. You know, there's not enough light, or it's solid rock, or it's covered in moss, or whatever it is. And you look closely and you see the start of a plant, or you see a tree growing out of a crevice of this rock. And you look at that and you say, there's life. There's life finding its way through even the smallest crack to find the light, to search for that oxygen, to search for that environment that will allow it to grow. And isn't that what we do a lot of times in our journey here? We search, we look for that place where we can grow, where we can express ourselves, where we can find the light. And it allows us that next step. We see things all the time. You know, I saw the other day, I was just looking out of the window, and I've got, like, in my, around my property, there seems to be this herd of deer that kind of, you know, come by. Sometimes it's one, and sometimes it's like 10 or 15, and they kind of, you know, eat as they go and, you know, wander away or lay down for a while. And there were like 10 deer outside of my window the other day. And I was just watching, and I was watching them, you know, eat the bushes. They ate my flowers that I had just planted, but, you know, oh, well, that's on me because I know better. So they ate all of that. And then I was watching that there was a little bird that just came by and was picking up some of the seeds that had fallen from the bushes that they were eating from. And the bird kind of then flew away. Now, where those seeds are going to be deposited, we don't know, do we? But they're going to be deposited somewhere where there's going to be another plant that starts to grow. So the seeds that are planted on our earth is very similar to those seeds that we plant when we bring forward an idea, when we have a discussion, when we bring a thought into a space or into a place, that we drop the little seed, and we don't know how it's going to grow. We don't know when it's going to grow. We don't know if it's going to grow. But all we can do is plant that seed. Just like that little bird took that seed, and somewhere now is going to be another tree for the deer to eat at some point in time. And I look at those things that we call these seeds, and I started to think a little bit about the different seeds in my life, of where that took me and how it led me to other things. And I was thinking, as Barbara was talking this morning, a thought occurred to me that I haven't thought about in a long time. Because it's Mother's Day, my grandmother was very important in my life. And it was a kind of relationship that, you know, I didn't have with a lot of other people, but my grandmother, I did. And I remember I was a senior now, so we know I don't have Alzheimer's yet, because I'm remembering a lot of decades ago. I was a senior in college, and I was in my apartment, and I remember exactly where I was sitting. I was on my couch, I heard my phone, and this was the time where you had to actually go to the wall, and pick up the phone. You couldn't just pick up your cell phone. So I was walking towards where my phone was, and I heard my grandmother. And, I would say before that day, if somebody told me this, I would say, well, you're just a little crazy. You're just a little out there. But I heard my grandmother in a voice coming from the corner of my dining room. And I heard her say, "I'm okay." Now, I had no idea, because I'm hearing this as I'm picking up the phone, and I'm trying to put the two pieces of this puzzle together, not so successfully at the time. And as I picked up the phone, it was my mom telling me that my grandmother had just passed away that afternoon, very unexpectedly, because I had just seen her a few days before that. She wasn't ill. Well, obviously something happened, but she wasn't ill. It wasn't like we were going to the hospital to say goodbye or anything. So in that moment, that seed that was planted by the spirit world, by the physical world, don't know, that seed started me on a journey that I'm still on, And just hearing that voice in that moment of time after physical death made me have to start to look at the what ifs. What happens? Why did I? And that seed is something that we all have. We're all here together in this room because everybody has had some sort of experience or wanted to look into some sort of experience of what joins us all together. Whether it's here in the physical world as community, or whether it's with the spiritual world in terms of support and the continuation of life. I hate the word dead. I really do. Honestly, I think it should be, kind of exhumed from our vocabulary, because we don't die. We don't die. We transform. We change that energy field that we function in, but we don't die. And so all of this work, this question, these seeds that have been planted bring us here today together. And the feeling of the journey, the feeling of when am I going to see the little tree grow out of the crack? When am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? The end of the day, it's only a plan. What we actually do during that day is what matters. That's what matters. And so, today being a celebration of mothering, for me, it was important. And thank you, Barbara, for reading that, because it triggered in me these moments and these memories that make me, as I think about my life, understand mothering more. I understand that concept more. And I understand that the only thing that is ever consistent is change. And if we don't go with change, then we're stuck. So whatever that change is for you, whatever seed is planted for you, whatever seeds you plant for other people, whatever we give from our mothering, whether we're male or female, doesn't matter. We have mothering within us, that concept of Mother Earth, that all will change, but all will be. And I feel that that's what, for me today, having, had my mom pass in January, to me, that's what I'm focusing on. What can I bring to the table? What mothering can I do in order to not only bring her memory forward, but the memory of my grandmother? Because those two people, to me, are my biggest influences. So for today, whether you are celebrating for yourself, whether you're celebrating for others, whether you're not celebrating at all, it becomes down to, what do you want to do today to grow yourself, to put out there something for others to hold on to when they have nothing to hold on to? What can we do to make our planet a better place, a better home, a better space? And what can we do within our own space to make that better? So again, whatever this day is for you, whatever it means for you, whatever works for you, let that be your guide for today. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for nobody clicking off in the middle of this. Makes me feel better. I appreciate it. And so again, my love to all of you, and my thoughts to all of you, and my thanks to all of you for being part of this place and this space, because your presence makes this space better. Thank you.